Okay, may as well just go for it.
Okasawandami bante sabang aparadang kamatame bante maya katang punyang samina anumoditabang samina katang punyang mayhang databang sadhu sadhu anumodami Okasa karunyam katawa papajang de tame bante. Aham bante papajang yachami tutiyam piyaham bante papajang yachami tatiyam piyaham bante papajang yachami sabaduka nisarana nibbana sachikaranataya Imam kasa wangahitawa papa cetamang bante anukampang upadaya sabaduka nisarana nibbana sachikaranataya Imam kasa wangahitawa papa cetamang bante anukampang upadaya Sabaduka nisarana nibbana sachikaranataya imam kasa wangahitawa pabajetamang bante anukampang upadaya.
Okay, so you've come to ask for the going forth, and Pabajanya Chami. Pabaja is literally means the going forth, so going forth from the world into ordained life, going forth to take on training, and so that, and then using these robes as a symbol of your going forth, and that's and what you just sort of said to say Sabba Dukkha Nisarana Nibbana Sachikarana, cross over all dukkha in order to realize Nibbana, taking these robes, please, Venerable Sir, out of compassion, grant me the going forth. So go ahead, and if you bowed once yet, okay, go ahead and bow one time and then continue the request.
Sabba dukkha nisarana nibbana sachikaranataya etang kasa wang tatawa pabajetamang bante anukampang upadaya sabba dukkha nisarana nibbana sachikaranataya etang kasa wang tatawa pabajetamang bante anukampang upadaya sabba dukkha nisarana nibbana sachikaranataya etang kasa wang tatawa pabajetamang bante anukampang upadaya.
Bow 3 times. Okay, you can sit. Okay, just to recollect that just setting that intention to go forth to take up a monastic training as a samana, using say the robes as a symbol. That's a sign of the religious seeker following the Buddha's path. And this chant that you did, one is just the request for the going forth, but then that to cross over all dukkha in order to realize nibbana. And this is, it's not a small thing that you're setting the intention to do. It isn't to I remember this novice. I was living at a monastery in Thailand, and out at it was a branch monastery of Ajahn Chah's, big forest, 1,000 acres, and surrounded by a reservoir, beautiful jungle along the borders of Laos. And anyway, there's these novices. They're really impossible, and they were helping the Ajahn one day, and they fell asleep out at his kuti. And there's an idiom or like a phrase from the Dhammapada, Nibbana Paramang Sukham. They're like, Nibbana is the highest happiness. And anyway, one of the novices, they both sort of woke up, and the Ajahn heard the novices stirring, and one of sort of stretch and yawn and say, "Oh, sleeping is the highest happiness." So it's a different aspiration. Nibbana is cross over all dukkha in order to realize nibbana. This is a very pure aspiration, and something that is really noble and really worthy of establishing as an intention. And so that, and then relying on the the robes, the form of the religious seeker, of say a Buddhist mendicant. One of the idioms for the robes is called, say, the banner of the Arahant. So it's like a symbol of one who has purified the heart. And so it's to be able to take on the training to wear the robes. It's a special opportunity, and to really be intent on the training and the practice. It's like last night I was out at Metika's at the Monday night group, and just sort of reflecting and recollecting that the kind of standards that the Buddha set are very different than the standards of the world, and that what the Buddha considered normal, especially in terms of the question came around aspect of like how to use or what's the parameters of using meditation and the Buddha's teachings for dealing with mental instability, and but using the reflection, really what the Buddha considered normal is somebody who has freed their heart from greed, hatred, and delusion, and is free from all dukkha. That is normal. So there's basically, we are in an abnormal position, and we're working towards normalcy, trying to become normal. And it's a really worthy reflection and worthy aspiration, and also recollecting that this habit of dukkha is a sort of a symbol of our not being quite normal. How do we return to normalcy? So that certainly the Buddha's training and the lifestyle is very much a basis and a template, so that the living of a mendicant lifestyle is an opportunity to direct one's attention to how to return, or how to bring the mind to a place of being normal, not being plagued by greed, hatred, delusion, not being plagued by dukkha, discontent, dissatisfaction, and also recognizing that it is possible. That's the basis of faith in the Buddha's teaching is what is in the Pali is the Tathagata Bodhisattva, having faith in the awakening of the Tathagata. That the Buddha was an awakened being. He was somebody who had truly freed his heart from all attachment and delusion. So, and that himself being a human being subject to birth, aging, sickness, and death, that it's a possibility for all the rest of us who are subject to birth, aging, sickness, and death as well. It's not an impossibility. It's an opportunity. So that picking up the training, picking up the teachings, and having consciously cultivating a faith and confidence. Faith is a bit difficult in the English language because it seems so much that you're like in English it tends to be, you have faith in something, especially from our Judeo-Christian background. It's more like you believe in it. You believe in an idea of something, but that's not the you don't believe in. It's like you have confidence in it, you have trust in that. So it's much more of a heart quality. And kind of having a belief system is having intellectually worked it out and just believing in the idea of it. But it's the having that kind of confidence and trust and certain. It's much more of a feeling quality or devotional quality to this possibility in the human condition, and it's very helpful to be lifting up those qualities of the, what do we have sattha, in awakening is that in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, that these are a refuge, and that we can, when we rely on this refuge, and we take this is a refuge in our heart, then we've got something that we can rely on and is trustworthy to rely on. But these are not external qualities; they're inner qualities, because that awakening of the Buddha is also, say, that faith or trust in the refuge of that our own awakening is possible as well, or that there is, Dhamma is a truth. There is a fundamental universal truth that we can take as a refuge, that there is a Sangha as a standard of integrity and virtue that we can turn to and rely on. So these are our refuges that we have to keep internalizing and drawing into the heart. And that's why they say that the Dhamma of the Buddhas is what's called an Opanayiko Dhamma. So it's leading inwards, it's drawing it. So we have to consciously, if you're sort of waiting for it to come inwards, and okay, that's one way of doing it, but you might wait for a long time. It's something that we have to engage in terms of drawing that reflection, investigation, and application of the teachings into the heart. So that Opanayiko Dhamma is leading inwards, but it's also, we need to lead it inwards. We have to take responsibility to draw the teachings and draw the practice into our own being. So that's a important aspect of these say this training or this going forth. And of course, that's say going forth is a formal way of doing it. Hopefully, that's what you've been doing these past year, really, or these many months of living in the monastery and gaining increasing interest to want to continue the training. So that's something that in reality, say all whether one's sort of formally going forth or one is a layperson practicing the teachings, that going forth is an inner quality. There's plenty of people with robes wrapped around them that haven't gone very far at all, let alone forth. There's maybe going backwards even. So it's a we have to engage with the teachings and the practice ourselves. We have to take responsibility for it. So that's a important part of this Other than this going forth is, it is helpful to have the props, have the reminders. Like you'll just trying to keep your robes up. It's a constant reminder that you're doing something different. And, every time your robe falls down, okay, I'm going forth. Keep it present, and so that's making the internalizing this practice. Also, an important and essential part of the going forth. Traditionally, right, so going back to the time of the Buddha, is that the Buddha instructed to, as a part of that going forth, is giving a kammatthana, a meditation object. Kammatthana is, say, as a word, I'm sure they said, meditation object, but it's also, say, it's the basis. Thana is like foundation, like satipatthana, foundations of mindfulness. This is kammatthana. This is the basis of our doing. Kamma is action. All of our actions need to be based on some kind of reflective tool, and the Buddha always encouraged the use of contemplation of the body. It's so easy to, even in the Buddha's time, just to go up into some philosophical speculation, some kind of belief system, some kind of ideology. It's like the first discourse in Digha Nikaya is the Buddha trying to correct the 62 different views that were predominant during his time, that were views on the philosophical, religious speculation or assumptions and beliefs that they had. So that stepping back from those going up in the head and going into some belief system or some kind of ideology, come back to the body, ground yourself in experience of the body. And this is where the Buddha says, you go hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, and skin, forward order, backward order, skin, teeth, nails, hair of the body, hair of the head. And this is a contemplation that is encouraged to be reflecting on our say assumptions of who we are, what the world is. We think of ourselves, and we've got all sorts of ideas and perceptions and memories and some kinds of sense of some kind of value we place on our body, old or young, large or small, whatever. But really what it is hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, and skin. It's not that much. It's like Ajahn Chah sort of said, Kenan, it's just that. Nothing much. And similarly, we look around us and we look at the world of other people, and again, it's young or old, male or female, attractive, unattractive, whatever. We go to all those labels, but all that we ever see is hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, and skin. It's all you ever see of anybody. And you're looking at it now, it's helpful for pulling back into the ways that we label ourselves and label others, and use it for either a basis for the stories that spin us out into either attraction or aversion. And that's because that's, in the end, that's all of the stories of other people and the world around us. All it is stories of attraction or aversion. It's nothing. Again, it's only that much. So that using these contemplations, and they're very simple, very basic. This is what the Buddha is saying. This is the basis for our action. So that actions of body, speech, and mind. Action, especially the internal action of reflection, investigation, being able to rely on this quality. So, contemplation of the body. So I will give you your robes, and you can Whoa. Don't disappear yet. You still have to contemplate on this hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, and skin. It's the... Or you can contemplate noise and sound. It has an unattractive nature as well. Kesa, Loma, Nakha, Danta, Tacho, Danta, Nakha, Loma, Kesa. Okay, so having taken these, or brought to mind these 5 subjects of kammatthana, meditation object. These have formed the basis of, this actually forms the basis of your ordination. And you can come back and we'll continue with the ordination, or the going forth, picking up the refuges and precepts as the foundation. Okay. A few people can, give a hand to help them keep their robes on, get the robes on. Yeah, if you can do that, that'd be great.
Sawandami Bante Savang Aparadang Kamatame Bante Maya Katang Punyang Samina Anumoditabang Samina Katang Punyang Mahang Databang Sadhu Sadhu Anumodami O Kasa Karunyang Katawa Tisaranena Saha Silani Deta Me Bante. Aham Bante Saranasilam Yachami Tutiyampi Aham Bante Saranasilam Yachami Tatiyampi Aham Bante Saranasilam Yachami.
Okay, so you can determine to establish yourselves in the refuges and the 3 refuges, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, the 10 precepts, which form the basis of your Sāmaṇera training. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Yat mahang vadami tang vadehi.
O Kasa Amabante.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Ti sarana gamanang nitithang.
O Kasa Amabante.
Panati pata Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinadana Oeramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Abharamacharya Oeramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada Oeramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Suramerya Majapamadhatana Oeramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Sura meraya majapamatana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Vikala Bhojana Oeramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Nachakita Vadita Visukarasana Oeramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Nacha gita wadita visukadasana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Malakanda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatana Oeramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Malaganda vilepana dharana mandana vibhusanatana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Uchasayana Mahasayana Oeramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Uchasayana mahasayana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Chatarupa Rajata Patigahana Oeramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami.
Chatarupa rajatapatikahana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Imani dasa sikkhapadani samadhiyami.
Okasa amabante imani dasa sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani dasa sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani dasa sikkhapadani samadhiyami.
Okay, that's it, copy. Okay, so you've taken on the refuges and the precepts. So when I spoke a bit about the refuges, I think it's something to always keep reflecting on in terms of what do we take as a refuge, because it's such a deeply ingrained habit to be. What we really take refuge in is self-view, some kind of hope for gratification somewhere, sometime. So that it's usually very, say, unworthy things to rely on, and so learning how to internalize something that really leads one to a place of awakening, and to encourage oneself to be doing it. And it really is one has a refuge then. Precepts are an essential part of say monastic training, having they define the precepts define our lifestyle, define our conduct, and as a novice you have 10 precepts, but in reality you have more than that. In the 75 training rules of the Patimokkha, those are something that both the Anagārikas and the Sāmaṇeras need to be attentive to, and picking them up, learning how to apply them, how to live with those the standards of deportment and relationship to requisites, and relationship to the community around one, so that to take an interest in reading them, reviewing them. You've heard them on in the Vinaya training during the rains retreat, but it's always good to review them, and now that it's a reality that you have to use them rather than a theory, that at some point, sometime, you'll need to really apply them. So just learning how to take these aspects of training, and certainly as a religious seeker in the Buddhist tradition, when you have the formal robes, then it's more apparent what you are. So it behooves one to be attentive to the kind of conduct that is appropriate, and it has a certain ennobling possibility when we take it on, giving ourselves the opportunity to really change and take on a new way of relating to ourselves, or relating to the world. And that foundation of the precepts is both the attentive to, say, moral precepts, say, not killing, not stealing, not lying, but also renunciant precepts, so that taking on the life of a renunciant, a renunciant religious seeker, commitment to celibacy, to refraining from say, intoxicants, and then training within the bounds of simplicity, just eating from dawn till noon, stepping back from the various distractions of the world, and having a commitment to the a simplicity of lifestyle that helps one to be devoted to wakefulness. Let's see, when the Buddha spoke of ways of practice or ways of training that are always useful, always applicable. One of them was, say, indriya samvara, so the restraint of the senses, so that establishing a mindfulness and restraint around sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, body. That being having a container of restraint and composure, so that because the mind flows out to its objects. It looks for objects to flow out to, anything to distract oneself, anything to. I mean, it's just it tends to do that, and especially when you're living a simple life, then it's even more sort of, give me something to distract myself with, so that learning that impulses of the mind through setting, it's not a harsh sort of restraint of the senses where you're clamping down, but it's sort of really paying attention to what, where does the mind go when it sees sights that are attractive or unattractive. What is it? Where does it go when it hears something that's attractive or unattractive? Because that's the our mind is constantly sort of going up and down with its likes and dislikes, and its wanting and not wanting, and basically that's the story of human life. It is constantly going back and forth between those two reactions to the world around and the internal world itself. Learning to understand that, so that there's an anchor, an internal anchor of awareness and discernment. So, satipanya, mindfulness and discernment, mindfulness and wisdom. So that's something that needs to be cultivated. So that sense restraint, bhojane matanyuta, knowing moderation in eating, so that there's a sense of, it's, on a certain level it's an aspect of sense restraint, but it's its own thing to be having that moderation in eating, because that seeking of nutriment is a kind of a feeding of the desire program in the mind. It's just paying attention to, okay, what's enough to nourish the body, and what is just looking for something else to stimulate the mind, keep oneself busy. The last one is the Anagārikas yoga, the devotion to wakefulness. So that's a willingness to apply effort and energy to what one's doing. Of course, it applies to the meditation object, but it applies to everything that we're doing. There needs to be a wakefulness in how we engage with our lifestyle and our internal training, so that as that engaging with a wakefulness is when we actually learn. If we sort of kind of asleep at the wheel, then it's we go off the road and get distracted, get lost. That devotion to wakefulness is both a physical waking up, but also an internal waking that we need to be attentive to. So these are things that the Buddha said, that you can't go wrong practicing these. These are foundational to all training, and particularly as say, as a novice, and it's sort of formally taking on the 10 precepts, taking on the training as a Sāmaṇera, as a religious seeker, then it's those are aspects of where to put one's attention and energy as you continue to train, as both in terms of one's conduct of body and speech, but then the training of the mind through the cultivation of mindfulness and meditation itself. Another aspect of training is living in dependence with a teacher, and so that's taking a nisaya, which you'll formally do, and so that when one takes on a training, it isn't as if you're making it up yourself. And so we live in dependence on those who have trained and continue to train and set good examples for training, so that you've been here, you're training and living here for some time, and you wish to continue to train, but it's a taking, so to formally take dependence on a teacher. And here it's not just taking on, say, me as an individual, but it's also taking dependence on the Sangha and the other senior teachers, elders, who help to provide guidance and encouragement for your training. And so that there's this sense of being willing to learn from others, giving oneself to the training, giving oneself to the receiving instruction, receiving admonishment, even at times when one is not following things appropriately. So that's part of being independent, is being open and willing to train on that. So that how do you say, that fulfills and completes the whole, say, ordination procedure, the going forth, so that to you go ahead and begin with the formal taking of dependence.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Acharyo me bhante hohi ayasamato nisaya vachami. Acharyo me bhante hohi ayasamato nisaya vachami. Acharyo me bhante hohi ayasamato nisaya vachami.
Opayikam
Sadhu bhante.
Pati Rupang
Sadhu bhante.
Pasadikena Sampadehi
Sadhu bhante.
Ajatage dani tero, my hangbaro, ahampi tera sabaro. Ajatage dani tero, my hung baro, ahampi tera sabaro, ajatage dani tero, my hung baro, ahampi tera sabaro.
Okay, that completes the ceremony. So welcome to the novice training, and as part of the this is also giving you a Pali name, and so that Anagārikas Gary will give the name Rakito. It means one who protects, preserves, shelters. So that Rakito, 2 Ks. And it's like there's the protective meditations, Anulakana Bhavana, Anulakana Gamatana. Those are like Udano Sati, Metta, Asubhagamatan, and Maranasati, contemplation of death. Those are what are called Anulak, so protective meditations. So this has that same root and sort of meaning of one who protects, preserves, shelters. So, Anagārikas Ryan named you Chittapalo, one who looks after, guards his mind. So that would be so Chittapalo. So that's a good opportunity. These are always. We get the names. One of the wonderful thing of our names is we all get good names. We all get nice names. Remind us of things that we should be doing, or could be doing, or need to be doing. So those are great names to take with you into your ongoing training. So sadhu. So maybe we could close with a sharing of blessings. Also, there's we'll close with a sharing of blessings, and then tomorrow morning we'll have an open morning. Be no morning puja, to have a bit of a break.
So, chanting's on book page 1, page 33.
You can stay right there. We're sharing blessings with you.
Now let us chant the verses of sharing and aspiration.
Through the goodness that arises from my practice, may my spiritual teachers and guides of great virtue, my mother, my father, and my relatives, the sun and the moon, and all virtuous leaders of the world, may the highest gods and evil forces, celestial beings, guardian spirits of the earth, and the Lord of death, may those who are friendly, indifferent, or hostile, May all beings receive the blessings of my life. May they soon attain the threefold bliss and realize the deathless through the goodness that arises from my practice. And through this act of sharing, may all desires and attachments quickly cease, and all harmful states of mind, until I realize Nibbana in every kind of birth. May I have an upright mind, with mindfulness and wisdom, austerity and vigor. May the forces of delusion not take hold, nor weaken my resolve. The Buddha is my excellent refuge. Unsurpassed is the protection of the Dhamma. The solitary Buddha is my noble guide. The Sangha is my supreme support. Through the supreme power of all these, may darkness and delusion be dispelled.
Closing homage is page 29. The Lord,
Perfectly enlightened and blessed one, I render homage to the Buddha, the Blessed One.
the teaching,
So completely explained by him, I bow to the Dhamma.
the Blessed One's disciples,
Who have practiced well, I bow to the Sangha. Okay, very nice job with the chanting. Everything went smoothly. No. Oh, also, one other thing, do you like all your Anagārikas gear? One of the things is just, wash it and clean it and then give it back to Tensujiro. But also, if you can patch up any, if there's any need of patching, then to do that before you give it back.